All right, guys, welcome back to TD Sports Talk. I want to come to you all today just to give you a little bit of myself, talk to you about how I became a Dolphins fan, my history as a Dolphins fan, how it all actually began. If you don't know by now, I am a diehard Dolphins fan. I don't have any other team in my blood. I don't bleed any other team. I am 100% the Miami Dolphins. It's Dolphins or nothing. Um, the only teams I've ever rooted for were teams that were playing against the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, or the New England Patriots, or anyone that the Dolphins needed to lose. And that was solely for the purposes of the Dolphins' benefit. But just sharing a little insight of me and my personal history as a Dolphin fan. I think my fanhood kind of started back in 1993. I believe I was around 8 years old at the time. I was a young man, sitting. I remember a lot of times watching my dad, who loves the Dolphins as well, watching him watch the Dolphins games. We'd be in our living room of our house watching the games, and my dad would always be rooting. This was when Marino was quarterback. Who I like to think is the greatest quarterback of all time. It's just a huge shame that one of the greatest of all time never won a Super Bowl ring. If he had a few Super Bowls, he probably would be argued as the greatest of all time because he's the one who kind of set all the records that are being broke today in a receiver friendly league. He was the probably one of the first quarterbacks to throw 5,000 yards, and that was in his sophomore season in the NFL. But back in 1993 is kind of whenever I probably can't even say I understood football fully, nowhere near how I understand it today. A young man sitting in the living room watching the games. I got caught up into the Dolphins at an early age, just sitting there watching the games, watching my dad watch them as well. Um, and I can say my history as a Dolphin fan from '93 up until this point. So that would make me a 25-year fan. Okay, been a fan for 25 years, never liked anyone else, only known the Dolphins, and for the rest of my life will only know the Dolphins. But it's pretty evident that the Dolphins, we have a very large fan base. It's larger than a lot of people think because I think our fan base is very much spread out all around the country and actually even all around the world. And that's why I think they select us to play in London a lot. Um, everywhere I go, I meet a lot of people. Right now, I don't live in. I'm from South Florida, by the way, just right outside of Miami in the Broward area. And if you know anything about Broward, that's literally, I mean, a neighborhood that I'm from, kind of a road in the neighborhood. Like I'm 5 minutes from, literally, I'm in Miami. Um, so growing up in South Florida, everybody down there is pretty much a lot of people down there are Dolphin fans, but it's hard in Florida because there's three teams in Florida: Jacksonville Jaguars and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I meet fans everywhere. And right now, I live in Dallas, Texas, and there are even Dolphin fans here. And Dallas, I have to deal with it all the time. I'm always talking trash, always talking about the sorry Cowboys, and people they always say they're America's team, but it's what have you done for me lately? But the same goes for the Dolphins, to be quite honest. What have you done for me lately? So growing up as a Dolphin fan, I got caught up into. There were a lot of winning seasons when I was growing up. Winning seasons that didn't amount to Super Bowls, but they were still winning seasons. So they always kept you entertained, always kept you hopeful. So that's what kind of locked me in as a fan. So I was always hopeful for my team. And I believe around 2004, when it just hit the fan and we just start be honest, trash, that was that deciding factor in my life. What do I do? We're trash, and now we've been trash for a few years in the mid 2000s. I know a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon, hopped on other teams, different things like that. But at that moment in my life, that's when I decided this is all I know. I'm going to be a Dolphin fan for the rest of my life, win or lose. We can go 1-15, and I'll be a Dolphins fan. And sure enough, we win 1-15 one of those years. It's just crazy. But I had decided early on around that point. That's whenever I know I'm going to be a Dolphin fan for the rest of my life, no matter what happens. I don't care if we have 10 seasons of 0-16 in a row. It would be despicable, but that's how deep it was ingrained in me, just personally. My dad wasn't the type that said you need to be a Dolphin fan, this and that. It's just something that grew on me automatically. Just watching him, and I got to watch Marino growing up. Marino, throw that ball and be considered possibly the greatest of all time at the time. This was before Brady. So he was at the time he was considered. Marino was probably may go down as the greatest of all time. So I got to witness that. I got to witness, the world seeing Marino and always looking at him as the Tom Brady of this era. Or you could say Tom Brady being, the Dan Marino of then. So, I don't want to put Dan Marino as the Tom Brady of no, because he came first. But that's how I kind of got off to be a Dolphins fan. And look at it, and I have the stats right here as far as record wise. When I started back in '93, this is what kept locked me in. The team went 9-7, winning season, and not to mention in that 9-7, Marino only played 5 games. I think there was an issue that year. But the year then Marino played just about almost every game after that for the remainder of the season, just about. But '94 we went 10-6 and lost the divisional playoffs. And we were first in the AFC East. Patriots were nowhere to be found back then. In '95 we went 9-7, another winning season. Lost in the wild card. In '95 we went 96 we went 8-8. It was one of those but hey, and we didn't make the playoffs. But we came back '97 9-7, lost in the wild card. Then '98 we were 10-6, lost in the divisional round. These were those Jimmy Johnson times right after the Hurricanes were on their runs. Then '99 we were 9-7, divisional round. 2000 we were 11-5. This is one of the highest points for us in that era. We were first in the AFC East, but we lost in the divisional round. 2001 we were 11-5, and we were 0-1 in the playoffs. We lost in the wild card. 2002 9-7, another winning season. 2003 10-6, another winning season. Then that's whenever things just got so rocky for the Dolphins. This is when I decided I'm going to be a Dolphin fan no matter what. 2004, we went 4-12. 2005, we went 9-7. Hope again. This is just like the Cowboys. I hear it all the time here in Dallas. They're just an up and down team. They give their team hope, but always drops them on their face at the end. And that's what we've been. I mean, I'm an honest Dolphin fan. That's what we've been. We've given our team a lot of hope and then dropped us on the face. But this was the era where we just didn't make the playoffs at all in a 6-year span. 2005, we were 9-7, didn't make it. In a winning record, didn't make it. 2006, we were 6-10, which was pretty bad. In 2007, at 1-15, I told you about. 2008, we were 11-5. Yes, Tony Sperano's first year, we're back. Yes, Tony Sperano's the answer. Next year, 7-9. He's not the answer, or is he? That's not hold it against him because he took us to the playoffs finally after 6 years. The year before, then another 7-9 season. Just didn't work out. And then we had Tony Sperano. We went 6-10 the year after, where we fired him in the middle of the season, and Todd Boyles took over. Then, we got rid of Todd Boyles. He didn't help. And then we went on a Joe Philbin sweep for 3 years. That was one of the most drama-filled time frames for the Miami Dolphins. All type of just crap of bullying and all kind of, oh my gosh, it was just horrible. It was a bad time to be a Dolphin fan. And so 2012, Joe Philbin, 7-9, losing season. 2013, even season at 8-8. 2014, even season at 8-8. 2015, once again, 6-10. That's whenever Joe Philbin was trash. We fired him, picked up the one of the coordinators, Dan Campbell. He brought a lot of energy to the team. People were kind of believing in him, but he was just a young quarterback. We ended up folding at the end of the season, going 6-10. And now we're in the Adam Gase era. And I'll be honest, I feel good to be a Dolphin fan at this time. Adam Gase first year, we lost. He took us to the playoffs at 10-6, lost in the wild card. I think last year we were supposed to pick up on that momentum, but your starting quarterback go out, and we went 6-10, and we with a backup quarterback the whole year. So you can't fault Gase for his efforts and what he's done, how we went out. And this year is that year, his third year. He has that opportunity to show, that first year wasn't a fluke. We're going to get right back there or even better. And if that happens, it gives you that feeling that we're trending in the right direction. So this is an exciting time to be a Dolphins fan. We've been built up so high so many times and dropped on our face so many times. And some of those years where we won, where we lost a lot of games and we didn't make the playoffs, we started the seasons like 4-2, 5-3, looking good, and it just crumbled. So it's just one of those things. What have you done for me lately? But I'm a Dolphin fan to my core, and I will always be. So I'm looking forward to this season. Hopefully, this is that season that turns things around. I think we got the right coach. I think we have the right personnel. I think we have the right team in general and the right owner. You know, we don't talk about our owner much, but he's dedicated to making things happen, not only for the team, but the city of Miami as well, putting his own money up for the stadium, and bringing a lot more attractions for a city that's full of money, but there's so much poverty at the same time. But that's a whole nother subject. And hopefully that gets changed, to cut down on some of the crime that's in South Florida, some of the stuff that I grew up around and things like that. But hey, hopefully change is coming. And I feel like it is for the Miami Dolphins. And as our team starts to win, it can probably transfer into the community as a winning city as well. So that's how I kind of got started as a Dolphin fan. How about y'all tell me, what about your experience? How long have you been a Dolphin fan? Give me the year you started. Tell me, have they taken you on the same emotional roller coaster that they took me on? And I think only real fans have gone through that. Some people may be like, yeah, well, it is what it is, whatever, I don't care. But I care, and I've always cared, and it's been dear to me. So that's why I'm very passionate about it. And this is our Super Bowl year, and I stick behind that. And I need you all to get behind that as well, so that we can. There's power in the tongue. You have to speak these things into existence for it to happen. So I know it's going to happen, guys. Even in your life, speak things into existence, because there is power in the tongue. But this is TD Sports Talk. Oh, and shout out to my baby sister. She looked out for her big brother. She got me, I just got it in the mail the other day. She got me a new Dolphin shirt. Pretty much like it, but what shocked me when I opened it was the frame on the back. That's nice, guys. TD Sports. It's TD Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in again. But I look forward to hearing you guys' response on your history as a Dolphin fan. And hey, peace. I am out. Thank you all. Thank you for subscribing and staying tuned to the TD Sports Talk. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. We are going to grow together. We are going to the Super Bowl. We're going to pick up believers and pick up believers along the way. We got plenty room on our train, all right? We got plenty room to pick up more and more fans. So tell them to subscribe to TD Sports Talk so that we can take this journey together as believers. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Peace.